All right, so I've got my mobile device here. You are looking at my iPhone. And I'm scrolling from screen to screen here. So you can see the different icons. I could have only one icon, or I could have several of these. Typically, this first page of icons are field service related, so you wouldn't spend a lot of time here. More likely receiving your raw materials, putting away your goods, picking, bin transfers or moves, inventory adjustments, cycle counts, manufacturing, which we'll use that here in a little bit, the ability to replenish, and license plate operations we're also going to be using in our manufacturing. On the web console, as you come in, the first thing you see is our Microsoft Power BI embedded dashboard. So quickly, I can hover over and find I have 128 receipts, I have 91 picks, and 151 inventory adjustments. I can always toggle to a different warehouse, and I can see different information, different sales orders and purchase orders coming into this warehouse versus the previous. I'm going to come back here. I have the ability to look at inbound operations, outbound operations, that's picks, manufacturing raw material picks, transfer orders, all would come through here. My reports are found here, and my ability to do system maintenance, such as security, user maintenance, determine what my users can see in terms of the mobile device, the web console, the reports. I can also create groups and assign users to certain groups, such as pickers. I want my pickers to be able to do cycle counts, picking, and maybe bin transfers. So they get 3 icons, and Andrew joins my team. I'm going to put him in a picker group, as an example. I also can add additional sites. I can even do import and export through data setup tools. I'll just flash there real quickly. You can see I have bin templates, item, vendor, customer, bill of materials templates, sales order or pick requests, purchase orders, and inventory loads. So a lot of helpful information here. But let's now come over to inventory operations. And if I come into manufacturing and kitting, we're going to show the base kitting capability. And what I do, the first thing I do is select my bin. Then I enter the item number that I'm about to produce. And you can see I have the IntelliSense, so it narrows down the list of possibilities. We're going to make some horse feed today, and we're going to make pallets at a time. I can assign a lot number. I can give it a manufacturing number and a quantity to produce. We're going to do 3 pallets, and if I hit go, what the system does is bring up my bill of materials. There is barley and sorghum, and you'll notice a green box around these, and that tells me that the quantity available is greater than the quantity needed. So that's a good thing. I don't have to do a bin transfer of more raw materials into my manufacturing bin 2. It's already here. Now, there could be, for a variety of reasons, that of this item and this lot number, I only have or only want to use, let's say, 750. And as soon as I do that, it says, well, you don't have enough, so let's add. I'm going to add a second lot number of the same item. Drop down, grab a different lot number, and now it's a green box, and it's tracking the different lots of the raw material that went into this. Now, I'm going to skip the display of my label and hit Create Kit. And you can see kit is created successfully. So again, one of the reasons I like this is that I get visual and the ability to select lots and add lots. I could also select substitute items as well. So that's one way to do manufacturing through our system. We pull this bill of materials that you're seeing, we can pull from the ERP. We could also, through system maintenance data, import that bill of materials as well. And we do have the ability to edit bill of materials right from our web console here. But let's look at another way of manufacturing. Let's look at job manufacturing, job-based. You'll see a similar flow. I'm going to select my bin, start typing in my number. Of the item that I want to produce. Again, we'll give it a lot number. And the unit of measure we can toggle. The number of license plates, I'm going to say 2. And I can again give it a manufacturing number. And the quantity per license plate is 1. I'm going to do 1 full pallet per license plate, so I'm going to do 2 pallets of this material. And I hit go. And here again, it's confirming I have enough in the manufacturing area. And I can create the job. Now I'll leave this, so we'll actually display that license plate. But I'm not completing the finished goods on the web console. The mobile device is going to play a role here. And so here's the 2 license plates that have been assigned to this manufacturer. So now I'm going to pull up my mobile device. I've created this job. I've planned for this production. And what I'm going to do is go into license plate operations. I click on that, and you can see it's ready to scan a license plate. So that first pallet of horse feed is coming off the line, and I'm going to go ahead and scan that license plate. And now it's giving me 2 options. I can destroy that license plate because I've aborted the job. I'm not going to go forward. Or I've created a full pallet of this, so I'm going to activate. And current quantity is 1 pallet per license plate. I could change that. Or hit active, and it says it is now active in inventory. Now I may have automatically placed that on hold, but in this case I don't have that setting set up. So I can, by pressing that place on hold, immediately place that license plate on hold. Okay? I can always go into license plate details as well, just to confirm, oh yeah, lot number, license plate, pallet, good. Okay, so that's on hold. And now what I'm going to do is go to the next license plate as the next pallet of horse feed comes off the line. 1068, again, I'm going to activate and create that inventory. I'll place that on hold as well. Okay. So let's go back to our web console and let's see what we're seeing in as we review these manufacturing jobs that have just been done. I have my date range. I have different statuses that I can sort on. I have produced these 2 pallets here. If I look at this, go into the details of this production, telling me yes, 1067 and 1068 each had a quantity of 1 pallet and are complete. So those details are there. Now I could also come into item hold maintenance. Let's take a look at that. If I type in the item number, select it, I can see the finished good, its location, its lot number, its quantity, its hold status, and reasons would be here as well. So if we come down here to LP 1067 and 1068, you can see they're on manufacturing hold. Now, after I do my inspection, my quality check, I can just come in here and edit it. Change it from manufacturing hold to active. and now it is movable and shippable product. But let's look at, as in most ways with our system between the web console and the mobile device, there are 2 or more ways to do things, to accomplish things. So let's go back to the mobile device, and I could scan that looks like 1068, or I'll type it in. And I can, as it catches up here, sometimes I'm using an AirServe tool, and sometimes it doesn't quite, there we go. Okay, should be seeing that. Now I'm going to select remove from hold, and that license plate now is active and ready to ship. If I come back here and do a refresh on my web console, remember it says it's on manufacturing hold, so let's do a refresh. And now you can see it is active. So there's 2 ways to accomplish most things, and in a lot of cases there's 3 or 4 ways to do it. Okay, one more thing on the base manufacturing demonstration, and that is if I look at jobless manufacturing, I'm going to use the manufacturing icon here. And here I'm creating the job right from the mobile device. So let's call this 37, manufacturing bin 2. I could scan it, type it in, create a lot, quantity, and now it's asking me for a license plate. So I have a page of barcodes here, and as that pallet comes off, I've pre-printed these license plates. So the system hasn't told me what license plate to use. I've got a stack of license plates ready to be activated as needed. And so I'm just going to scan a license plate, tap into the section there. And it's 2203. It recognizes it as a valid license plate, and I can now just hit the Create button. Product has successfully been added to inventory. So I've taken a sheet of license plates, activated the next one up, and now I can apply that label to the pallet and send that into its stocking location or picking location. I just hit OK, and it advances me back to the main screen, and I can continue that operation over and over and over. So let's look now at the manufacturing console one more time. And if I hit filter, here is that lot number 1445 that we just produced. So again, you can go into details, you have that real-time information. Okay. Heading back to the PowerPoint, Andrew, how are we doing on questions? Are we okay?
We just had one question pop up here.
Okay.
And is jobless typically done at end of shift?
I would say that is one way it can be done, but I would say not typically. It's kind of as it is produced. So each pallet coming off, you're just peeling off a new license plate and assigning it. So it's usually continuous. When I say after the fact, I mean more like near real time, because but it can be done both ways. It's really about the timing that you need. But very typically, it is as that pallet comes off, slap a new license plate on it, activate it, and send it into a picking location. Okay, great question. Keep them coming. All right, continuing on. I talked about black box manufacturing, and I've got a one-pager on this. I'm happy to send this out, but this is also referred to as a swim lane diagram. You have your accounting system, our web console operations, our mobile device operations, and notes to help guide you along the way. And so we have a pre-manufacturing section, a during manufacturing section and a post-manufacturing. You can't see that document. I've got a separate PDF where we can go deeper into that. But a lot of times, if I have a contract manufacturer, I'm going to bundle up a pick of a bunch of raw materials. I'm going to ship it out of my system, and that can actually, we'll lose visibility to that. It's all at the manufacturer. What comes back is a number of finished goods back into our system as a kind of a back flush against those raw materials that were shipped, maybe 1, 2, 3 days ago or a week ago. So there is a time interval there where I have no more raw materials. They've all been shipped to the contract manufacturer, and I've not yet received the finished goods. And so that's that pre, during, and post-manufacturing process. Okay, another question? Okay, yeah. Continuing on. Cargill is a partner of ours. They just recently rebranded a division of Format Solutions. They have products such as Pennant Mill Manager, Feed Mill Manager, and Brill Formulation. This is really about animal feed mill manufacturing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here, but certainly happy to engage with anyone in this vertical who would like to explore that further. But I also wanted to kind of show their workflow because it is interesting as well in that they have their accounting system, a batching system, and our warehouse management. The formula is created, we validate enough inventory is available. The formula is released, and there are bulk, micro, and types of materials that need to go into this. And they come in a different time and sequence, and so that all has to be monitored very closely through the batching system. And finally, the hand ads are added, and to manufacturing, you know, as a kind of a pick and ship through our system. And then when the formula is complete, creating it in our system and really the bulk, micro, and the hand ads. So I just wanted to comment on that to dive deeper with anyone on an individual basis. Another tool out there, which is similar in many ways, is vicinity manufacturing, software for process manufacturers. They have verticals in microbrewing and a lot of different process manufacturing. So I thought that would be worth kind of reviewing a flow, and this is a flow that we demonstrate a company around a chocolate cake, GP and vicinity, and flowing in WithoutWire and a write back to close this order. So you'll notice here's the formula ID, the batch number, the components with a description. The issued is 0 currently, but you're going to see later when WithoutWire does the write back that we actually populate the quantities used. Here's the quantities required, consumed, currently 0, remaining, and lot numbers can also be assigned in our system and populated back into the GP Vicinities solution. So you come into our kitting console is one way. There are other ways to do this through our system, through our web console or a mobile device. You enter the location, the number, the lot, the phone number, the quantity, and you hit go. It, again, allows you to validate those quantities needed, quantities available. You can add, as you saw me do earlier, another lot, and through the drop-down, add that. Finish it, which again, creating those license plates, you can automatically assign that to hold and remove it from hold, as you saw me do on the other demonstration. And then when we do our write back to the vicinity GP tables, the batch number has the issue now quantities and could populate the lot number as well. So just wanted to kind of review that as another option. There are others there, but Vicinities is a pretty popular one in many of the industry channels that we serve. And here's the one we wanted to talk about, and that is a full MO process where we are in Microsoft Dynamics with WillAware, a MO generator tool, where we do a release, creation of the MO and release, generates a pick of raw materials in our system, moves to production where we create finished goods, and then write the receipts. So we also back flush the raw materials and write the receipts back in real time to the Dynamics ERP system. So with that, what I'll do is turn it over to Andrew to take us through the demonstration. Any questions, Andrew, we need to address? The one that you saw? Yeah, looks good. Okay.
All right, so the first thing to begin this process is we log into Dynamics GP. As you see, we are on the home page, and to start, we will go down to the manufacturing screen. One thing, once we're in here, is to ensure that that WithoutWire MO generator is, in fact, running, and we'll be integrating the data. And how we turn that on or ensure that is under the transactions box here. There's the MO generator. Click into it. And this is the main area, the run import, that is important. And here you can toggle between continuous as well as select how often you want it to run, or you can simply switch it to once. For the demo, I will be leaving it on continuous. Then select import. It will ask if you want to run the MO. Select yes, and done. Now we're going to create an actual MO in GP. To do that, select manufacturing orders, then entry. And you'll notice this MO number is auto-populated with the next manufacturing order. We'll type in our finished good and the item number. Go over to end quantity. I will be creating 30 chairs. The start quantity you'll see auto-populated. Next we'll fill in a date and a due date. We'll then schedule this MO. After a couple seconds, we'll see that it is ready. And finally, we want to switch the MO status from quote estimate to release. After this, hit save, and we can exit out. Now we'll switch over to our web console. And here, we'll see if, it could take a couple minutes to integrate, but we'll see if it came in, and we can go to outbound, pick request and returns.
Yeah, we've set our integration to run every 1 minute. You can set that interval, of course, any way you want. So if we get lucky, it'll flow right in, but sometimes it does take a minute and a half to come through.
Select filter. As Steve was saying, there's multiple different ways that you can filter. The pick order that we created was 97, but for the sake of the demo, I will continue on with this identical order that we previously created, MO 96. Another thing I would like to point out is in our inventory operations, manufacturing, and in the manufacturing console, is with the created MOs, there's also jobs associated with that. And for MO 96, the job that we'll be concerned with is this number 65 here. And if we click into details, we will once again see license plates associated with the manufacturing. We'll come back to this screen when we are done picking our raw materials and are ready to actually turn those raw materials into finished goods. Now we'll switch over to the mobile device and pick our raw materials. All right, we will select the picking screen. And then we'll scroll down and find that MO. MO 0096. Once here, again, you'll see all of the raw materials needed as well as the quantities for this manufacturing order. Two ways, we have a scanner on, or you can use the camera by selecting this barcode. I do have a scanner, so I am going to scan the first item. It auto-populates with the pick requested amount. You then press next, and then OK. And you can continue doing this for each item. Not only can you scan the item, but you can also scan the bin. And if you do have a bin with multiple items, you will be prompted to specify which exact item you are looking to pick out of that bin. So we'll finish up picking our raw materials. And as some of you may have noticed, there's this blue comment icon that arose. And it says LP1116. And what's saying is the raw materials are moved from their bins and put onto this license plate. And now that we've completed each one, we'll select OK. It will ask if we would like to ship, and we'll select yes. And now our raw materials, which are on that license plate, have been moved to a staging manufacturing location. Next, we'll back out to the main screen, and now we're ready to go about our manufacturing. So we'll go back to that LP operations, and then those jobs that are associated, or those LPs that are associated with the manufacturing order, going back right here, we will scan those and activate the manufacturing to produce our finished good. Again, we can select activate or destroy. We will activate. And now it is saying the current quantity per LP is 10. Would you like to update or keep the quantity? We'll activate it. And we will continue on and scan our other LPs. We'll activate this. And on our last LP, as we were taking 2 chairs off, it appears that our last 10 chairs off, it appears that 2 were broken. So we'll change the quantity to 8, and 8 will be associated with that. Now that all of our license plates have been activated, we can go back to the web console, and I will once again refresh, and you will see that the quantities per LP are all uploaded, and we have 3 active license plates. So to finally see the full integration of the system, we'll go back to GP, and we will then click into manufacturing orders in the inquiry, and look at component transaction inquiry. Select MO number, hit this little search magnifying glass, and then we will scroll down all the way to the bottom and find that MO. And it may be, oh, it is in a completed status. And as you see, that MO97 is in a release status. One thing I can go is quickly see if it did integrate back into the system. Okay. And there it is. It is finally, it flew back into the WithoutWire system, and it is waiting to be picked. So any questions on that process, or I can turn it back to Steve here to continue on with the presentation.
Okay, excellent, Andrew. Thank you for that. And I know we're moving fast. You may not have seen all of this with its clicks and so on, but the good news is we are recording the demonstration. We will post this online, so please, I want to encourage you to share this with others. But a very nice demonstration. Thank you for that. And we'll continue on and try to keep us all on time here so you get back to your busy day. Let's go full screen. And Andrew will continue to monitor questions, as I do have just a few wrap-up slides here to kind of take us through where we've been. Okay, so we talked about the Power BI. You saw that. You saw that we do on our website have a webinar where in 1 hour you can see how you can customize your views of Power BI. We actually have visibility to your inventory in 4 key ways. Through your ERP system, We have real-time integration, so you can look at quantities at a macro level of any of your items, and you can get to your costs and all those things through your accounting package. You have our Microsoft Power BI embedded dashboard. You have, we use SQL Server reporting services on the back end, so you have that ability to crunch the data, and you can always export our reports to an Excel pivot table to view your inventory and its flow all the way through your operations. We have multilingual capability. Actually, simple toggles can get you to French and Spanish types of device language. We have, in terms of deployment, Microsoft Azure Cloud deployment, becoming very popular, more popular every day. And we still do on-premise deployments as well. 1 server, 2 server, 3 server types of deployments where we're splitting our needs with the ERP database and needs onto a 2-server deployment. This is probably what 90% of our clients are doing, so the blue here is very common. Happy to talk to you in more detail about those types of deployments. But kind of wrapping up here is where we started, coming back to that, where we talked about those 3 key ingredients. And hopefully you've got a flavor for our abilities and our adaptive architecture of our Microsoft homogeneous product. The WithoutWire intuitive technologies, where you saw how license plates can be used, how barcode acquire can drive efficiency in labeling, utilizing your vendor's barcodes, how Microsoft Power BI can be used and customized for your own needs. And we demonstrated at least 4, maybe 5 different types of manufacturing. We showed swim lanes of 3 or 4 additional, and there are other ways that we can help you with manufacturing. So just wanted to kind of take a deep dive with you today, and we'll plan to follow up with each and every one of you. So thank you for attending. Want to open it up for questions. And one thing as a wrap-up slide, do we have a question, Andrew?
Yep, one question just came in.
Okay.
Do you work with any EDI partners?
Yes. We work with probably all the EDI partners, and I'll name a bunch of them for you. Sterling Gentran, it's been around a long time. True Commerce, Redtail, Data Masons, DI Central, I guess is what their name is. So SPS Commerce is another, and there's more. So be happy to talk about what your needs are, either on the inbound and the receiving, or the outbound, whether it's a 810 or an 856 document, a 943 or 945 document on the outbound, where we are taking the PIC fulfillment records, packaging them up into an XML file, and moving that out to the EDI provider so they can do their thing that they do so well in communicating forward to customers what's about to arrive. Any other questions? Yeah? Nope. Okay. So I do have one more slide as wrap up. I see it is 1:58, so Central Time, so we got 2 minutes to the hour. But if you saw something interesting today, I hope you'll look deeper into what we have on our home site and our knowledge base. There's many topics you can search on. There's tutorial and quick start videos. I hope you'll share either today's recording or the last 2 months' recordings, or the invitation for next month's participation in our executive briefing on the Use It Free system. We also will be out in Fargo and Tampa and Nashville here yet this year, so a lot of ways to follow up with our team, and happy to do discovery and demonstration of deeper functionality for you individually. So Andrew and I are going to hold on the line here for 30 seconds or a minute and see if any more questions come in. We're happy to address those. And again, we will follow up with you in the coming days to learn what other questions are coming. Okay, looks like there are no more questions. So again, thank you all for attending, and looking forward to working with you in the coming days and weeks and months. Have a great day.